brightershorescentral here. Let's get straight to the point. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Andrew's response to the monument situation, special attacks that are upcoming on the game, and also the recent patch notes, which are really good for today. And the point is that I probably overreacted a little bit in my previous video about the monument. What I'll do is I'll give you the quick lowdown. Essentially, when the monument was finished, I was really excited. I was thinking, oh, there's going to be some kind of reward here. We're going to be able to show it on the video as well. And it turns out that the reward is not available yet. And essentially, we also went to the philosopher. We went to the philosopher thinking that the reward is something to do with the philosopher. It turns out that that theory was also not correct. Ended up with the video basically not knowing what the reward was. So I would just like to apologize for a bit of a overreaction in the moment of the video when I was hoping for something that wasn't there. And that was just me being a gamer and really wanted that reward from the monument piece and to know what it was. So apologies if it seemed like an overreaction. And then after that video was published, about an hour later, Andrew Gower then tweeted about how there is going to be a reward coming for the monument, essentially. And that is what he tweeted, is that there is a reward coming. He didn't actually expect people to complete the monument so fast in so little time. And to be fair, I think that that's a fair point, because it does take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours for somebody to complete it. And 2P did complete that. Essentially, Andrew Gower didn't think, oh, somebody's going to complete this in like the first month of the game. The other point is we have to remember that it is an early access game as well. So not all features are going to be in the game yet, right? So it's a work in progress. And that's also understandable as well. I think for me, my response was based on basically passion for the game. I just really wanted to know what was in the monument. And that was what was based on my emotions at the time. And I was annoyed that I wasn't able to find out at that moment in time. It was my initial human reaction as a gamer, not knowing what the monument was. And of course, we can all actually have different perspectives. We can all react in different ways. My reaction was one of frustration in the initial point, but now that I've had time to collect my thoughts, think about it more in a logical manner, it makes sense that of course it's an early access game. Not everything's going to be in the game, and that is understandable, but it's good that Andrew Gower has addressed the situation. I don't think he watched my video. It might just be that he just saw the leaderboards and saw the data of somebody completing the monument, and he probably looked at the back end of his own data and saw that and then tweeted about it. So I don't think he's watched my video or anything like that. And I did email Fen Research about the monument reward. I don't think I can disclose like the full email because I don't think I'm allowed to do that. But what I can say is that they are sorting it. So don't worry. And I don't need to worry either. We now know that there's going to be a reward coming, and now we can all speculate what that reward's going to be. Is it going to be a reward that benefits everybody in the game? I know that 2P said that they want a reward that benefits everybody in the game. Possibly it's not necessarily a good idea to have too much of a utility reward. Maybe it gives a little bit of a utility, but at the same time, I think maybe it would be best to be slightly cosmetic as well. So mostly cosmetic reward, maybe with a slight bit of utility, but not too overpowered, because I think that would also annoy people if the reward was overly overpowered, right? I don't think that that would be the right decision either. So I think there's a fine line and a balance between this. Something that is cosmetic, something that has a little bit of utility, and maybe something that affects other players around them in some sort of way. We can all theorize it and we can all talk about it in the comments. So I'm really looking forward to the future of the game, because essentially Andrew Gower keeps giving us updates. People were complaining about the fact that you couldn't actually click on a node, just one click a node. What does Andrew Gower do? He goes and introduces an update where you can now one-click a node. There was people complaining about the fact that you couldn't click on the minimap. What did Andrew Gower do? He gave you the option to click on the minimap. They were annoyed that they couldn't click too far away on the minimap. What does Andrew Gower do? He increases an update where you can click on 2 map zones away on the minimap. So every single time people have a concern, Andrew Gower is delivering with an update. I've got to commend our Andrew Gower for doing that. I think it's fantastic. I also got to be fair on the channel as well, right? So if I have some sort of reaction to something, initial reaction, just know that that's coming from a level of passion for the game. I want the game to succeed. Okay, so that is, it's not coming from ill intent. It's coming from a passion for wanting the game to succeed, and a critique is just that. Okay, now moving on to what did the patch notes say. So we have some interesting news for the patch notes. Let's go into it. So the quality of life improvements read as follows. So they've added auto buttons to the shop and bank interfaces. These automatically buy and withdraw the number of items we think will be most useful to you. For example, if buying bacon, this button will say 12 because you are typically want to buy 12 bacon and 12 bread. Add buy max and sell all buttons to the shop interface instead of the buy 5 and sell 5. Show the size of the stacks and the storage rifts. Allow high level forensics potions to be purchased from the shop. Change monster loot drops such as mandibles and turd eyes, etc. to draw their name in grey instead of orange, so they don't look like an epic item drop. So I just want to touch on a couple of these updates, which I think are brilliant, but I just want to quickly mention that memberships are now available on the channel in 3 tiers. So if you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, you can leave super thanks and you can join the membership as well. All you've got to do is click the join button below. The idea of auto withdrawing 12 and 12 into your invent is going to be an incredible quality of life update for those that are training crafting skills or crafting based skills, and I think that's brilliant. What I would also add, in my opinion, is a X option as well. Be able to set or customize the amount that you want to withdraw, and then set that as a hotkey so that you can then easily withdraw items, and you can customize the amount you want to withdraw at each point. So maybe you want to only withdraw 8 or 15 for whatever reason. You can then customize it with an X option and set it as to what option you want, and then that way it gives more player choice as well. But I do think that this is a good update, and it's a really good step in the right direction. Changing the monster loot drops. Now that is an incredibly important update. It may not seem like it, but it really is, because it's about dopamine hits. Now when people get an epic loot, people want to feel like they're getting something special as a epic loot. Now we don't want that as the same orange color on the resources, right? Like for example, some of the mobs in Minor Mantuban, they would drop resources, but it would be orange, the same orange as the epic weapon drops. Now they've changed that around because you don't want it to be the same as the epic weapon drops, and that makes total sense. And that is essentially about ensuring that dopamine is hit from getting your epic weapons, and that it's not the same as the resources themselves. There was also some slight balancing changes as well for the XP calculation for activities using the profession equipment. There was a bunch of bug fixes as well to smoothing out the game even further. Great updates coming into the game, and we've got a lot to look forward to as the game develops as well. Eventually we're going to get bosses. Eventually we're going to get special attacks. There's a teaser coming for that soon. Eventually we are going to get different episodes as well. Eventually we're going to get items that are even rarer drops that we can work towards. Eventually we're going to get like collection log probably items where maybe certain cosmetics that we can get by grinding a certain thing. That'd be cool to get those cosmetics as well as a representation of somebody's grinding. There is a lot of different things that are going to be coming into the game into the future. I'm optimistic about the game. I want the game to succeed. I'm passionate. And any critique I had in my last video or even this video about some of the points here, coming from a place of passion for the game, and don't want anybody to sort of necessarily get offended by somebody's opinion on the internet, essentially. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the channel, and a lot more content coming in the future. Bye.